Watching this video to the very end could make or save you money. Beyond Meat just reported its second quarter earnings, and if you only look at the headline numbers, you might think nothing has really changed. Revenue was still down compared with last year. The company is still losing money from its core operations, and management is still warning investors that the environment remains uncertain. But when you compare Beyond Meat today with where the company was just 3 months ago, something interesting starts to happen. Several important numbers are finally moving in the direction bullish investors have been waiting to see. This is episode 1 of a 5-part series breaking down Beyond Meat's latest earnings and the most important pieces of the turnaround story for investors. In this episode, we're looking at whether the turnaround is finally starting to appear in the financial results. Then we'll dig into the company's dramatically lower cash burn, its debt situation, its expansion beyond traditional plant-based meat, and one part of the business that's actually growing year over year. So if you're following Beyond Meat, make sure to stick around for the entire series. And before we get started, I would love for you to like this video and subscribe to the channel because we have a lot more to cover on this story. So let's start with the number that immediately caught my attention: the $68.8 million surprise. Beyond Meat generated $68.8 million in revenue during Q2. That's down 8.2% from about $75 million a year ago. So this isn't a story about Beyond Meat suddenly returning to year-over-year growth, but the sequential comparison looks much more encouraging. In Q1, Beyond Meat generated just $58.2 million in revenue, which means revenue increased roughly 18% from one quarter to the next. Management had previously guided investors to expect between 60 million and 65 million. So Beyond Meat didn't just hit the top of its own range, it comfortably exceeded it. That matters because turnarounds usually don't happen all at once. First, you need to stop deteriorating, then you need to stabilize the business, and eventually, if the strategy is working, you start rebuilding from there. Q2 doesn't prove Beyond Meat has completed the process, but it does give bulls some evidence that the company may be moving in the right direction. Margins are improving. The second number I'm watching is gross margin. In Q1, Beyond Meat's gross margin was only 3.4%. In Q2, that increased to 8.5%, while your gross profit rose from roughly $2 million to about $5.9 million. That's meaningful sequential improvement, but there's an important piece of context here. Beyond Meat's gross margin was still 10.6% during Q2 of last year, so the company still hasn't even recovered to its year-ago level yet. This is progress, not a finished turnaround. Beyond Meat also sold more product by volume in Q2 than it did in Q1. Volume increased from roughly 11.8 million pounds to 14.5 million pounds, or about 22% sequentially. But again, the year-over-year picture is weaker, with Q2 volume still down 9.5% compared with last year. So the bullish takeaway isn't that demand has suddenly exploded. It's that Beyond Meat generated more revenue and moved more product than it did in the previous quarter, while also improving gross margin. That's the kind of sequential movement investors want to see when they're looking for signs of stabilization. But before we keep going, if you're enjoying this series and want me to keep doing these deeper Beyond Meat breakdowns, take a second to like this video, leave a comment with your take on the quarter, and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of this series. Your support helps the channel and lets me know you want more detailed coverage like this. And you can help me reach my next goal of 15,000 subscribers. We just hit 10,000, so we're getting very close. Now, back to the video. The operating loss needs some context. At first glance, Beyond Meat's operating results look like they improved dramatically. Reported operating expense fell from about $43.1 million in Q1 to $36.7 million in Q2, while the reported operating loss narrowed from roughly $41.1 million to $30.8 million. But this is where we have to be careful because Q2 included an $11 million credit related to the settlement of a dispute with a former coal manufacturer. That one-time item made the reported improvement look much larger than the underlying improvement actually was. Once Beyond Meat adjusts for unusual items like that, the picture is much more modest. The company's adjusted operating loss was about $39.9 million in Q2, compared with roughly $40.2 million in Q1. So the bullish takeaway here isn't that Beyond Meat suddenly cut another $10 million out of its underlying cost structure. It didn't. The more defensible takeaway is that Beyond Meat generated substantially more revenue and improved gross margin while keeping its underlying operating loss roughly stable. That's still progress, but it's a much more measured kind of progress. Then we get to probably the strangest number in the entire earnings report. Beyond Meat reported $16.4 million in net income for Q2 compared with $31.8 million loss during the same quarter last year. So, yes, technically speaking, Beyond Meat reported a quarterly profit. But before anyone starts celebrating, there is a massive asterisk attached to that number. The profit was primarily driven by a $57.7 million non-cash gain related to extinguishing debt as holders converted portions of Beyond Meat's 2030 notes. This wasn't Beyond Meat suddenly selling enough burgers, steaks, and protein drinks to generate $16 million in operating profit. The underlying business is still losing money. Adjusted EBITDA was negative $27.7 million in Q2, which was almost identical to the negative $27.8 million Beyond Meat reported in Q1. That tells us something very important. The headline net income number looks dramatic, but it shouldn't be confused with the core business becoming profitable overnight. Beyond Meat still has a long way to go before its operations become financially self-sustaining. So, is the turnaround working? I think the fairest conclusion is that Q2 doesn't prove Beyond Meat's turnaround has succeeded, but it does provide some legitimate evidence that pieces of it may be starting to work. Revenue increased roughly 18% from Q1 and came in above management's guidance. Gross margin improved from 3.4% to 8.5%. Product volume increased sequentially, and despite the business generating significantly more revenue, the adjusted operating loss remained roughly stable. At the same time, there are still plenty of reasons for caution. Revenue and product volume remain down year over year. Gross margin is still below where it was a year ago, and Beyond Meat's underlying profitability hasn't materially improved yet. Management is also guiding for only $60 to $65 million in Q3 revenue, which would represent another sequential decline from Q2, even at the high end of the range. So I wouldn't call this a victory lap, I'd call it progress. And for a company where one of the biggest concerns is whether Beyond Meat can survive long enough to complete the turnaround, progress matters a lot. But that brings us directly into episode 2, because improving revenue and margins doesn't mean much if the company burns through its remaining cash before the turnaround is finished. And when you dig into Beyond Meat's cash flow statement, something pretty dramatic has happened. The company's operating cash burn during the first half of 2026 fell roughly 60%. That's a huge change. And in episode 2, we're going to break down exactly how Beyond Meat pulled it off, how much cash the company still has left, and whether one of the biggest risks hanging over the entire turnaround story may finally be starting to ease. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, like it, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts. Are you investing? Are you shorting? Are you just on the sideline providing some sweet commentary? I'm Lincoln with bullacademy.org. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.